With only 3 stops left before the inaugural Rip Curl WSL Finals, the tour begins its hottest stretch, starting here in California's Central Valley.
It's a big moment here.
What a transition. Throws the alley-oop.
Oh, stomps it.
Absolutely stomps it.
Coming in as fan favorites and the only past winners in the draw, Lemoore and Gabriel Medina face a determined cast of wild cards.
Easily stomps it.
Tour veterans.
Great style.
And world champions.
Floating up for something big. Firing under pressure. And that's got to feel good.
After 6 months, 11-time world champion Kelly Slater makes his return to competition to battle the world's best at a wave he created.
He's going to stick it.
Oh,
a huge pin throw reverse.
The pressure is on and the temperature is turned up as the fight for the WSL Final 5 begins to take shape. This is the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe.
I've been having this vision. I've been having this vision. Either rise or you fall. I'm a nation, bringing my dreams to fruition. I ain't playing at all. Bring out the body bags. I'm about to kill them, deliver them to the mortician. I gotta do what I gotta do. That's for my face. I gotta do what I gotta do. I break it down. He never came. I'ma do me. I'ma do me. That's in my blood. I'll never change. That's in my blood. I'll never change. That's in my blood. I'll never change.
Good morning and welcome to Central California here in Lemoore for the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe. You're watching Jeep Dawn Patrol here on opening day. Friday morning, it's nice and cool so far. It's 73, but trust me, it's going to heat up with the action in the basin and also here on land. Thanks for being with us. I'm Joe Turpel alongside longtime CT standout, welcoming back Rosie Hodge. Rosie, I know you called in a lot during the Aussie leg, but this is much better seeing you in person. We missed you. Congrats on being a wonderful mother. How good does it feel to be back?
It's so great to be back. I did watch every heat from the Australian leg, and obviously we were in Hawaii too. So been following the tour, know what's happening, and just so enthralled with what's been the action that's unfolded so far.
Crazy that this is called the Stoke Machine. I mean, we're still getting our head around this perfection that was created by Kelly and the crew years ago. But it is perfect. You are stoked by the perfect wave you get here, but it also brings different types of pressure to the best surfers in the world.
That's correct. I mean, it does have just that feeling. I mean, you and I, we've caught a couple waves in the basin without a competitor's jersey on, and it is just hot in your throat. You know that wave's coming, that machine clicks on. So to be competing in this arena, it's that added pressure, and that's what we love about this event.
A lot of things to digest, but you know what dawned on me here on the Jeep Dawn Patrol was that we're actually really far down the track of the season. Stop 6. There's not many events left to qualify for the Rip Curl WSL Finals.
The third last event of the season so far. We've been talking a lot about the Rip Curl WSL Finals, but also requalification. That comes into the picture now. So a lot of surfers having to make up ground, looking at their careers in a different lens.
Well, Rosie, excited to get a start this morning, but let's get caught up on how we got here to stop number 6.
It's finally happening. Everyone's stoked to be back in the surfing community and doing what we love.
Everyone's warmed up, tuned up, and the performances are going to be on.
To start here, it's almost like having your dessert before dinner. You know, you start at one of the best waves on the planet, and I think that's really going to be setting the wheels in motion for what's going to be probably the best tour we've seen in decades.
Us finishing this event at Pipe is a pretty pivotal moment for women's surfing.
It's the fact that we're out there. That's what really matters.
He wants back door, pulls in, the spit comes out, and so does John.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
Welcome to Newcastle, Australia. Looking for the full route again. His signature move on the backhand.
Here goes Carissa Moore. Takes to the sky.
Wow.
It's one of the best single manoeuvres we've seen in women's competition.
It feels so good to be standing number one at the end of this contest.
It's time for the Rip Curl Narrabeen Classic.
What? Taking any chances? He's going to
One of the best starts we've seen on tour.
Caroline Marks finishes on top, her third championship tour victory. Welcome to the Boost Mobile Margaret River Pro.
The perfect number, ladies and gentlemen, a 10-point ride.
He hasn't had that winning feeling in a little while. Plenty of spray as she hangs on to that one.
Welcome to Rottnest Island. Fitzgibbons, now you're number 2 in the world.
Gabriel Medina, what an amazing performance through this Australian leg of the tour.
So great to get caught up in what's happened so far, and I loved kind of following your top 5 picture on WorldSurfLeague.com, Rosie, sort of like sharing the wealth on the women's side with all different winners at the previous 5 stops, and then the stranglehold by Medina on the men's side. Pretty exciting coming into stop 6.
It's very interesting. I mean, just tracking that and knowing, how the leaderboard is tracking, and the women, like you mentioned, wow, so excited, so exciting to see that level of talent. But for the men, Medina's looking so sweet.
But also cutoff mark, top 20 in the world requalified for the men, top 9 now for the women. We're going to be watching closely Owen Wright, who's sitting in the 25th in the world. Also, Malia Manuel outside the cut as well. Well, let's have some fun, Ro. Should we dive into the Surfline forecast and see what we have in store, not just for today, but for the weekend here in Lemoore? What are you thinking?
Well, we know what we're going to have waves-wise, obviously. I mean, it's going to be in that 4 to 5 range every single day. But interesting, you just got to watch that wind line. I mean, that's what really can affect the wave here at the basin. It's going to be so incredibly warm, hot. So there isn't going to be too much wind to speak about. Unfortunately, no breeze to cool us off, but also nothing to ruffle up the surface of the waves.
So true. I think it might be at 111 degrees today, maybe
gosh.
at the peak. That's about 43 Celsius, if I did the math right. Unbelievably hot. As we know, it's going to be perfect waves on demand here at the Surf Ranch. When we come back, we're going to break down some new format changes for the event right after this. You're watching the Jeep Dawn Patrol. Once again, WSL's first priority is keeping everybody safe at all the events around the world. All the protocols are in place just to do that, to keep everyone safe. There's a reduced number of people here at the event. It's closed to fans this year. All the testing is advanced with screening for our athletes and staff. There's dedicated athlete zones, and we're also following the latest guidelines here in California. Welcome back. It's starting to heat up already. Sheet glass conditions here in the basin as we wait for those first couple of burner waves to kick off the day, anticipating fireworks in this new bracket that we have set up here for 2021. Rosie, as we know, we've had a couple of CT events here, and there's been little changes each and every year as they continue to work out the format.
I love it. Just refining, what we get to see and how we can really optimize the day's performances, as well as seeing, how athletes perform under pressure.
Looking at the qualifying round, we're going to see that kick off today. 6 surfers per heat, 2 runs each. So when we say 1 run, that means 1 right and 1 left. So if we say 2 runs, that's 2 rights, 2 lefts. You count your best right and best left. If you're in the top 2 of your heat, you'll automatically get the bonus run, and followed by the following 12 men and 6 women. Then you'll get another chance to improve your top 2 scores to then make it into the semifinals. Top 8 men, top 4 women will be in the semifinals. And then the big change, Rosie, now into the final, it's going to be head-to-head. That's going to be really exciting to watch on Sunday.
I love it. I love this new format. I love the fact that you get a chance to kind of, you get that bonus run to improve your situation, but then also we're going to see surfers that only get to ride 4 waves in this competition. So you got to make it count from the get-go.
That is so crazy when you think about the practice runs. Like any other venue that has an ocean, you can get there when you want to. Start practicing, warming up, get your equipment dialed here. It's all on a practice schedule, and the good news was the last few days, they turn on the lights now. So like Lucas Vicente, world junior champ who's in the event, he got to surf at almost close to midnight, getting some warm-ups to prepare for the big event.
And they need it. I mean, you've got a whole bunch of injury replacements as well as wild cards. The rookie class, they don't have as many reps here as the vets on tour. So you've really got to give those guys a chance to establish their performance, and it's great to see them turning on the lights. It's a beautiful thing to see.
We'll keep reiterating the new format as we get things started this morning, but let's really take a closer look now on the Final Five picture. The Final Five picture heading into the Surf Ranch. Morgan Siblick, the rookies, in 5th. Felipe Toledo, 4th. Jordy Smith, 3rd. Italo still 2nd. And Gabriel Medina is in a very strong number 1.
Who is going to give themselves a shot at a world title at the Rip Curl WSL Finals in September? At each contest, we're going to see those top positions, number 1, 2 and 3, maybe get locked up as the season rolls on. And then it will really be a fight for that mid-pack, fighting it out for those last 2 positions. The way things are gone at the start of this season, Gabriel Medina and Carissa Moore, I don't know how anyone's going to deny them a place in the Final Five. That means there's only 4 spots really up for grabs. When you look at 2nd position on the men's tour, Italo Pereira's been on fire too. So that leaves 3 positions for the men. And the pressure's going to be intense.
The Final Five is looking pretty daunting for everyone outside of number 1 in the world. For Gabriel Medina, looking so dangerous. Best start of his career to date. And then you look at his track record here. Rosie, nobody's ever beat him before.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling pretty comfortable. You look at that top 5, there's some Schuens, there's some familiar faces. But then number 5, I mean, it's like they just unleashed a rabid animal on the world's best surfers. Morgan Siblick came out swinging as a rookie on tour, and he's in that Final 5 picture at the moment.
The crucial thing is, it's not like you're just settled with the Final 5. Seeding is huge when it's going to come to that last event of the season to try to become a world champion on one day this September. We've had a lot of changes, though, to the draw. A lot of surfers unable to make it to the Surf Ranch for different reasons. A lot of injuries as well. Kolohe Andino had to withdraw when he got to Oz. That was heartbreaking, still dealing with that high ankle sprain. He did get away with lowers, though, a couple days ago. Looks like his recovery's going well. We're missing John, hurting himself in action at Margaret River. Wilson taking this event off. He's been dangerous here. Big shock, though. Jordy in the Final 5 picture right now, having to take a break to recover his knee injury. Michelle Perez and Jeremy Flores also making some room for some fresh faces to come on the scene.
Yeah, as we see, I mean, Mikey Wright, he's been kind of on this tour all season long so far. Liam O'Brien, what a fantastic performance at Rottnest Island. So great to see him in the mix. Patrick Gadauskas, I was very excited when I saw his name in the draw.
And also Jabe Swarkowski, a Grom, just getting the phone ringing the other day, said, is this real? I'm actually in the main event. And he got his first couple of waves the other day, and he'll get his feet wet on the CT format.
I love it. And Nat Young, I mean, it's going to be his first CT back in 4 years. So great to see Nat Young return to CT competition.
This year, we've been saying you've got time with your fantasy teams to watch how everyone's looking. Not the case at this event. You need to get your fantasy teams dialed now. As soon as we kick things off, your team is locked. There's not going to be any changes. There's not that elimination round format. This is a leaderboard format. So make sure your fantasy teams are locked. Wouldn't be surprised if you have Medina and Carissa Moore on your team, Ro.
I mean, you'd have to put those guys on. They've been so consistent throughout the season.
Much more to come on the Final 5 picture for the women on the top 17. Coming up next on the Jeep Dawn Patrol. Be right back. The Surf Ranch is located on Tachiyoka tribal lands, and we are honored to welcome Tribal Elder Mike Sisko to the basin along with a few members of the tribe to do a blessing ceremony before we kick off the Jeep Surf Ranch Pro presented by Adobe. Such an exciting Friday morning and a beautiful ceremony to kick things off here for the world's best. Joe Turpel with Rosie Hodge still absolutely rips at this stage of your lifetime, Rosie. I know you've been following Carissa Moore since you saw her as a young Grom, changing the game. She's the reigning world champ, #1 in the world, and maybe the best to surf at the Basin as a former champ. Do you feel like she's going to bring more to the table than her previous wins here at the Basin? What are you expecting, especially after she threw the air reverse seen around the world earlier this season?
What an opportunity for her to practice her innovation and her progressive maneuvers. Like you said, she's comfortable at that #1 on the leaderboard. Why not mix it up this week? Why not show us something completely different and push women's surfing forward in that way?
Well, she's got #1 at the moment, but a lot of surfers gunning for that spot. Let's take a closer look at the Final 5 picture for the women.
Final 5 for the women. Steph Gilmore and Joanne DeFay now are tied for 5th. Tyler Wright bumps up 1 spot to 4th. Tatiana drops to 3rd. Sally Fitzgibbons with a win moves to 2nd. And Carissa Moore still world #1.
A big focus for us on the commentary team this year is going to be the story about the Final 5. Who is going to give themselves a shot at a world title at the Rip Curl WSL Finals in September? At each contest, we're going to see those top positions, #1, 2 and 3, maybe get locked up as the season rolls on. And then it will really be a fight for that mid-pack, fighting it out for those last 2 positions.
We've had a different winner at each contest this season. So a different winner at each contest doesn't happen all the time. It's just a testament to how deadly the tour is with amazing surfing. And right now we've got Tyler Wright, Carissa Moore, Caroline Marks, Tatiana Weston-Webb, and now Sally Fitzgibbons as event winners heading into stop #6.
Such an exciting year on tour. It was really cool to see Sally Fitzgibbons grab that search trophy and just add another winner at stop #5. Will that theme remain the same as we'll have different winners at every stop this year, Rosie? Or is it going to be Riss once again taking out this event?
Yeah, interesting. I mean, Riss is going to be hard to stop at this event. And also in that top final 5 there, Tyler Wright not in this competition. So there's room to move on this leaderboard. And the women's arguably the most exciting to watch because you know, it's a tighter field and it's just such a talent-laden event for the women.
So true. And when you think about injuries as well, you know, Lakey Peterson, a former champ of this event, unable to defend her title. We saw her come in with some back pain in Australia. That was hard to watch. Macaulay's taken this event off. Macy Callahan has been surfing incredibly well. She'll take a break. But like you mentioned, Tyler, just like Jordy on the men's side, in that final 5 out of this event, but that's opening up some spots for some young names and also a 10-year seasoned vet as well.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to watch these ladies, these replacements. You mentioned Coco, that 10-year seasoned vet, coming into this competition. She's proven herself at Rumble at the Ranch, taking that event out. But then also those younger women, Katie Simmers, wow, are you kidding me? Alessa Spencer, we've seen what Amura can do as an injury replacement. So we've got some great talents. Alessa Spencer, she's someone that I really enjoy watching surf out at Lowe's. Really excited to watch her here.
And also Kira Pinkerton, a former world junior champ who's kind of been a part of a lot of the trials events to get into the CT. Now she's got her chance here at the Basin. I feel like she's going to feel pretty confident against the best surfers in the world. But I'd like to say a big good morning now to one of the legends of the sport. He's sitting on a perch here at the Basin or on a big wave at Mavericks, coming off the best season of his life. Good to see you, Pete. How you doing? And I really want to know your favorite on the women's side.
Oh, it's good to see you guys, too. All the smiling faces around the site here at the ranch. It's been incredible. It's uplifting. I love it. Glad to be back. And, of course, looking at that list of replacements, you can't look past Coco Ho. Coco Ho is, we've gotten to see her so much lately because she's not been on tour. We've been able to see her everywhere else. And some of the performances she's been putting on, the Instagrams and the YouTubes, it's been a blast to watch. And think about how good she is here at the ranch. She is going to be a force to be reckoned with. She's surfing with freedom and love and fun, happy kind of style, which is exactly what the Hoes are all about. She is incredible, and I can't wait to watch her at this event.
We love it, Pete. Coco Ho was part of the team of Felipe Toledo at the Rumble of the Ranch. She finished in the top 7 at the CT format. She's been a part of all these events. She just fell off tour, but sometimes falling off can be that blessing in disguise where she's free surfing for the first time in over a decade, and she's surfing at the top of her game.
I would have to agree. I mean, just watching Coco in the free surfing, I know that she was part of the electric acid surfboard test. I've been watching that with her brother Mason on Stab. But yeah, it's so fun to see someone kind of be rejuvenated as they get back to the tour, as they're given a wild card opportunity. And I think we're going to see her do damage.
I think her hardest decision is going to be what board is she going to ride, because she's been ripping in the warm-ups. We're going to take a quick break. Remember, fantasy teams, you got to lock those in. We'll dive into that further right after this.
The Surf Ranch was once a dream, but it is now a reality for the best surfer that ever lived.
The first time I came to this property, and it was just like dirt, and we were moving it around and shaping the bottom and designing, and I saw how big it was and how overwhelming this project was. It was terrifying.
On December 5th, 2015, Kelly launched the first wave.
First wave I ever rode, and this had all the pressure in the world. We had 50 people here on property all watching me catch that first wave. I wanted the wave to visually stand out from anything anyone had seen.
So crazy. What started as one man's dream, now fully realized, brings the world's best surfers to the best man-made wave. In 2016, the Kelly Slater Wave Company joined forces with the WSL and improved the wave, making it the most technologically advanced man-made wave on Earth.
It's definitely the most level playing field that surfing's ever seen, so in that case, it's just the best surfer should win.
I was like 100% confident that this wave will be good and it'll work as we designed it. I wanted the wave to visually stand out from anything anyone had seen. Now we've transformed the bottom and the way the wave breaks to where you take off and it's just more playful. You can do 4 or 5 turns before you get to the barrel section. The 2 nights before the event, I couldn't sleep. I was so excited and nervous and wondering how it's going to go.
The first time I walked in yesterday and I saw the setup and I just went, this is the future, this is what we have dreamt about, and it's right here, it's happening today.
I think the idea for the WSL was just to see whether it would function in a way that made sense. That was the one thing I came away feeling, was that it was the happiest I've ever seen every surfer at a whole event. There's so much to debate about what this is and where it goes. You know, I'll always stand by this. It's just a complement or a supplement to what surfing experience is. From here, I'm already like 3, 4, 5 versions ahead in my mind.
Set things up here. Tacks it off the lip even harder. Another big blow as it transitions into the pit. Kelly going the distance.
You know, there's things that you'd love to see in your lifetime. And, you know, like I never got to see the Beatles play. I never got to see Led Zeppelin play. But I got to see Kelly's wave pool, and I'm totally stoked.
In your mind, you go, this is the future.
Such an incredible story. I remember seeing it on page 1 of Surfer Magazine, just that wave. It was kind of that dark brown chocolate-looking wave where it was a total barrel from start to finish. Immediately, you're starting going, where is this thing? It was top secret. In a short period of time, it's turned into one of the most exciting venues on tour.
Definitely. And if you have been fortunate enough to actually stand here and watch the basin turn on, the first time that you see it is a moment that you remember forever. I mean, it really is like Kelly created a dragon and he's got this thing in his back pocket and it's something he gets to surf all the time and he's sharing it with everyone, which is so cool.
I think what was really groundbreaking as well was now how changeable this is. Starting from that total barrel to make it more maneuverable, like you said, and even from the first CT event to the second one in the past, they slowed it down to that CT3 setting, which we'll be running with this year as well, where it's really high performance. You can still get barreled if you want. It's an absolute dream that continues to evolve.
Yeah, and they've changed the contours on the bottom, the bathymetry that they've used in the basin, and the dampeners and everything to make it so that they can initiate waves quicker to makes the surface smooth. It's all just been refined, and it's so exciting to see it as we come to events because it's been refined and improved upon.
Well, Rosie, it is opening day. I think it's time to get started. We're going to kick things off with the men in their first heat of the morning. We'll take a quick break. After this, the contest is on as we'll bring in Chris Cote and Pete Mel for the call.